Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 7th. I'm Whitney Turner. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick, WVLT's daily fastcast, airing 10:30 in the morning, Mondays through Fridays. Well, now to a car show in Pigeon Forge this weekend, making headlines across the region. Police say thousands were in town for the Slammed Enough car show, but officers say things got out of hand. And now Sevierville's mayor says the car show is not going to be invited back. Officials made the announcement at Sevierville's City Council meeting last night. There was a public forum where multiple Sevierville citizens expressed concerns over the car show. There was applause for many in attendance when the mayor announced the show will not be invited back. Meanwhile, we're also hearing from Pigeon Forge Mayor Kevin McClure. He says he took phone calls about the traffic and noise all week, so he went to see for himself what was happening on the parkway.
Didn't like what I saw. Very sickening. That's not Pigeon Forge. That's not our community. That's not how we act here.
The police chief says meetups happened all over the county, but this one at Jimmy's on Saturday night became out of hand. The chief says officers asked members of the crowd to leave, and when they would not, he pulled his officers back and focused on protecting neighboring businesses. The chief also said they issued nearly 500 citations and made several arrests for people who would not take police orders. Meanwhile, the Sevierville Police Department says they made 30 arrests and 118 citations were issued over the weekend. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said a member of the Hancock County School Board has been indicted for trying to solicit a minor. According to the TBI, agents began investigating allegations involving 75-year-old Jack Mullins back in August. Well, during that investigation, the TBI said agents learned Mullins approached a juvenile girl at a fitness center in Sneedville and tried to solicit her for sexual activity. On Monday, the Hancock County grand jury returned indictments charging Mullins with 2 counts of solicitation of a minor and 1 count of official misconduct. He was arrested and booked into the Hancock County Jail on a $25,000 bond. In a statement sent to WVLT News, Director of Schools Charlotte Mullins said, quote, "Though Hancock County Schools understands all criminal defendants in the United States are deemed innocent until proven guilty, we as a school system and as a school board want to ensure the Hancock County community of our constant focus on the safety of children and of our trust in law enforcement and the legal process." 25-year-old Lauren Whaley has been charged by police of hitting a 7-year-old child twice in a parking lot. 2 witnesses say she dragged a child into a car at the Kroger on Chapman Highway and then hit him in the face with a closed fist twice. Officers spoke with the child who had red marks and dried blood on his shorts. Whaley did not give an explanation to officers, saying she needed to get her phone. She is now charged with felony child abuse. And a new preliminary hearing date is now set for the man charged with the murder of Blount County Deputy Greg McCowan. Kenneth DeHart faces the death penalty in this case. He is accused of killing Deputy McCowan during a traffic stop in February of last year. DeHart also faces attempted murder charges in the shooting of Blount County Deputy Shelby Eggers during that same traffic stop. DeHart's new preliminary hearing is set for November 25th. And a push to speed up the judicial system in Loudoun County, led by County Commissioner Van Shaver. He says a majority of the inmates are waiting for criminal court. Shaver says some inmates have been waiting for several years before they make it to state court. 9th District Attorney Russell Johnson says there's many reasons why it can take time for felony inmates to go to court. One is because the county courthouse burned down in 2019. Johnson says it took 6 years before the county remodeled the old courthouse. He says it is one jury courtroom, which can also slow the process. Johnson says another reason, there's one criminal court judge for Loudoun, Roane, Morgan, and Meigs counties. Commissioner Shaver is asking the county mayor to send a letter to that judge asking for help.
But we want to at least let our judges know that we will do whatever we could to possibly try to help move them through the system.
Johnson says having another state judge or a bigger justice center would be ideal to speed up the process. Shaver says he is open to any conversation to explore possible solutions. Right now, wildlife officials in Tennessee and Kentucky are raising awareness about a deadly disease affecting deer. It's called hemorrhagic disease. It's often referred to as HD. Well, we've seen hundreds of cases reported in both states. Kentucky itself has reported more than 1,000 cases of deer getting sick or dying. Wildlife officials say it all starts with a bite from a small insect. And once that happens, symptoms that follow hit hard, fast, and without warning.
It's like this extra vicious cycle. Deer have less water, they go into water, they get bit, they get a fever, they get really hot, they go back to water, get bit again, right? But it's the important thing about this one is it's a very quick, rapid disease. Usually these deer, when they contract it, they're dead within 2 to 3 days.
Wildlife officials say HD poses no threat to humans and most pets, but if you find a sick or dead deer, please report it.
And now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Sydney Sullivan.
Well, we've already been in and out of some briefly heavy downpours throughout the first few hours this morning. Now that we're getting into the afternoon, though, watching the secondary line of showers and storms that are starting to move closer to our area. Now, as the day progresses, we'll see occasional showers and storms. Doesn't mean it's going to be all day by any means. In fact, right now, tracking some of those downpours moving through areas from Williamsburg down towards Knoxville, pushing eastward. Crossville, Jamestown, Monticello, those are going to be some of the spots that could potentially see a little bit more coverage out of the overall rainfall over the course of the next 24 hours. Now, as we go throughout this afternoon, it is not a washout by any means, but in fact, I actually have new timing and data with the latest line of showers and storms actually looking likely that we could see a good bit of moisture starting to work on in as early as dinner time, so 6, 7, 8 o'clock or so. This is actually that cold front that is swinging across the region. So if this timing holds, this could impact that evening commute with those scattered downpours and storms. Now earlier, it was showing this moving in a little bit later, so just want to draw your attention to some of those changes in the forecast. Now with that in mind, you're still going to see occasional showers and even a few rumbles of thunder through the overnight. A lot of this should be out of here fairly quickly tomorrow morning, though. So it's a quick moving system. It does have a lot of energy, but by the time it reaches us, fortunately, the severe weather threat is very low. Not to say we couldn't see some storms out of this, but we're not expecting widespread coverage of that by any means. Now, what happens moving into early tomorrow morning as this system pushes east and southeast, for the most part, we're drying things out. So yes, you still could see a few lingering showers here or there, but we're not really expecting a lot of rainfall following that cold front. What you will notice following this front is actually a wind starting to pick on up. That's going to make things a little bit breezy throughout the day on Wednesday, but that is going to be ushering in that cooler fall-like air as we head towards the very end of this week. We're looking at afternoon highs topping on the low to mid 70s by late week moving into the weekend, and those overnight lows Saturday morning 50 degrees, Sunday morning also 50, so a bit of a chill in the air for us.
Sydney, thank you so much. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, will run out of federal money within 2 weeks unless the shutdown ends. And this morning, there's a major change for Tennesseans who rely on SNAP. The deadline is now set for people to meet the new requirements or risk losing the service. SNAP users in Tennessee have until the end of the month, October 31st, to meet the new expanded work requirements or prove why they should be exempt from them. Second Harvest Food Bank says the demand for food has been up in the last 3 years, and they're preparing for even more demand as the change rolls out.
This could put a real burden on some families that, again, always at the most vulnerable if they're in line for food. If they need SNAP benefits, if they need Second Harvest, they're just at the most vulnerable. If there is food needed, Second Harvest will be there for the people who need it.
Once this goes into effect, people could lose their SNAP benefits after 3 months if they don't meet the new requirements. Then it'll be another 3 years before they can be eligible to receive the benefits again. A 16-year-old girl from East Tennessee defeated cancer, and now she's taking the trip of a lifetime. Callan Peterson had returned to school from a soccer tournament in Ohio. One day, she says a school nurse found a lump in her neck that was later revealed to be cancer. After going to chemotherapy for months, she is now cancer-free. Callan says her diagnosis has given her a new perspective on life.
Chemo it's hard, but like if I hadn't chosen to keep going, I wouldn't have gotten to do all this and watch my family grow up.
Well, they rolled out the red carpet for Callan to step up to the counter. She's in Florida right now. She said she's going to Disney World and Universal this week. The trip was made possible thanks to Dream Connection, a nonprofit that aims to help families enjoy once-in-a-lifetime experiences. And this afternoon, cities across the country are celebrating National Night Out, including right here in Knoxville. From 5 to 7 o'clock tonight, you can stop by Tank Strickland Park to get to know your first responders a little better. There's going to be free food, games, giveaways. You can also explore the city fire trucks and police vehicles and meet the city's mounted patrol. There are also signs of Halloween in downtown Knoxville. It's all part of the Wicked Cool event. Halloween decorations are now up all around downtown, including ghosts and spiders. A lot of the businesses there, like Rocket Fizz, are getting in on the spooky spirit.
A lot of different businesses are offering beverages, specialty beverages for the month. They have cool decor set up. There's really nice things to walk around and look at. And it goes all month long, so you have plenty of time to stop multiple times to try different places.
Lots of Halloween-themed events going on right now, including the Wicked Walk and a scavenger hunt where you search for 9 black cats hiding in downtown windows. And something new this year, a family-friendly trick-or-treat happening in Market Square on Halloween. Speaking of the Halloween spirit, Boo at the Zoo is coming back to Knoxville starting this week. Every year, the zoo hosts several weekends worth of not too scary Halloween fun, good for preschool and elementary age children. From this week through Halloween, you can spend a night trick-or-treating through the zoo. It's taking place Thursday nights through Sunday nights for the next 3 weeks. You can get your tickets online or on Zoo Knoxville's website. And Zoo Knoxville has released the names of its red panda cubs. Take a look at these guys. This is Dr. Wallace and Mr. Darcy. So here's how you can tell them apart. The zoo says Mr. Darcy takes after his father, Doofa, and has a larger head and darker red fur. They say Dr. Wallace resembles his mother, Sisu, and has a smaller head and more white fur on his face. Dr. Wallace is named after a professor at ETSU. Mr. Darcy is named after the character from Pride and Prejudice. WVLT is proud to be our official station of the Vols, and the 12th ranked Vols welcoming in Arkansas to Neyland Stadium Saturday. This is a new look coaching staff for the Razorbacks. After a blowout loss to Notre Dame almost 2 weeks ago, Sam Pittman was fired and Bobby Petrino named interim head coach. Petrino took no time to start remodeling the coaching staff, letting go a few defensive coaches, including defensive coordinator Travis Williams. Despite the changes, this is still a talented team. Tennessee will have to prepare to stop the run. Arkansas ranks second in the league in rushing offense. Quarterback Taylon Green is a big reason why.
You got to get off the blocks, and then, he's dynamic. He's got great long speed, and you got to be able to tackle him. And so in the different structures that we're playing, our gap integrity is going to be important. When they're dropping back and throwing, you can't just let them sit back there and pat the ball either. You got to apply pressure, but you got to have great lane integrity as you're doing that. So those will all be points that will be really important for us defensively.
Both Tennessee and Arkansas are fresh off a bye week. The Vols look to pick up their first win over the Hogs since 2007. Kickoff Saturday is at 4:15. Volunteer Game Day is going to start at 2 o'clock on the Tennessee Valley Sports Network right here inside your WVLT News app. Looking a little bit ahead, the third Saturday in October, set to be played under the lights of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Tennessee, Alabama, next Saturday at 7:30. The Vols have won 2 out of 3 against the Tide, but haven't won in Tuscaloosa since 2003.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
On this date in 1843, Nashville became the permanent capital of Tennessee. Several cities across Tennessee were nominated to be the capital. Nashville won by just 1 vote. Previously, Kingston, Knoxville, and Murfreesboro had held the temporary honor. Nashville's state capitol building is one of the oldest working state capitals in the country. The State Museum provides guided tours throughout the week. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, you can stay up to date on WVLT.tv, inside your WVLT News app, and on WVLT social media pages. We're going to be right back here with your top headlines at noon.